talking about the CIC President Julius Malema, who does have an impact on the ground. I think he does have the following. So the main issue is to alert the following about the tiptoeing, which happens when these leaders are put to test. I was listening to him, to the CIC talking on JJ Tavan. Like he was talking on behalf of the Afrikaners. He said the Afrikaners fought for this country. like I was like, who is he representing? Who is he representing these days?
What do you say to them tonight?
If you put an Englishman here and put an Afrikaner here,
Yeah.
and make me choose, I'll choose Afrikaner. Afrikaners have fought.
Yeah.
They fought against the British. They fought against their colonial suppression in the country, because they too were oppressed and had to fight for their own liberation against the British colonialism. So those are the kind of people that I'll deal. There's no white person I can drive to the sea.
The Afrikaners fought for this country against the British. So if you put the Afrikaner here and you put the British, I would choose the Afrikaner. Yeah. So, what kind of tiptoeing is that? What happened? MK came into the scene. Umkhonto uyagwaza. MK came into the scene, frustrated their plans. Now the CIC says, as long as the ANC gives them the Minister of Finance, after the election, they can merge with the ANC. They don't have a problem with the ANC of Ramaphosa. The ANC of Ramaphosa, the same Ramaphosa, they said they wanted him to account for Marikana massacre. The same Ramaphosa, they said they wanted him to account for Palapala. Now, the same Ramaphosa, they are not putting, previously they were putting conditions in the previous elections. They were putting conditions that they can't work with Ramaphosa because Ramaphosa is a murderer. Now, when did Ramaphosa change? When did he went to court and be found innocent? When they go around campaigning, they say the ANC is corrupt and they want to remove the ANC from power because the ANC is corrupt. But now he's saying he's going to work with the ANC after these elections because he's too desperate for power. He's too desperate for power, and he can see that the power is getting from his hands. The power, black people are rejecting him. Black youth is rejecting him. The security guards that he was claiming to represent have rejected him. The churches have rejected him. The youth of the unemployed youth, the 18.3 people who are 18.3 million people who are supposed to be at work or at school, who are not anywhere, have rejected him. So he's frustrated. He does not know who to align to get to power. It was all along. I was relaxed, thinking I'll just previously. He was just cruising, as if I want to borrow his words. He was cruising nicely until President Zuma came into the scene, and then the cruising nicely stopped because the reason I expose the CIC, it's not because I have any personal grudges or hate on the EFF. I love the EFF. I love the people there. But this is not time for games. This is the time to liberate black people from from slavery. This is the time to liberate black people from constitutional slavery. And this is the time to liberate black people from apartheid machine. This is the only time that we have, basically, the only period that we've been given by God, uh, which may not come in the next 200 years if we miss this opportunity. As black people, we may be in chain for the next 200 to 300 years if we miss this opportunity. So I'm not criticizing or exposing him because of my ego. It's because I want people to realize that we need to be serious and vote for the right people, because we are clear about what they want to do and where they want to take us. When he was talking there, he said, no, there's no way I can, I want, there's no Julius Malema who is going to drive white people to the sea. No, that one won't happen. You know, Afrikaners fought for this country. Now he speaks on behalf of the Afrikaners. That one made me laugh. That one made me laugh. Let's stop playing with the life of black people. Let us be serious. Let us realize that the enemy is not playing. The enemy is serious. The enemy knows what time it is, and they can see that if we miss the point here, Zuma will liberate the people. So we need to make sure that we we fight as much as we can. He's been approved. Julius Malema has been approved by white people to take over from Cyril, because the white people have failed to work with Cyril in all dimension. It's just it's just a stone. You can't enhance his image. He does not even make any efforts to campaign. Even now, he's not even campaigning. You see, he's just going around with, he's like as if everything is normal. He's sending people around. When you talk about the ANC, you don't even think about Cyril Ramaphosa. You will think about Fikil Mbalola, who is even totally irrelevant. I feel ashamed even, talking about Fikile Mbalola on my videos. I should not even mention him. He's too irrelevant, because he's got nothing to say to anybody. He's not saying anything. He's got a position that he can use to say something, but he's not saying anything to anybody. So he's just an empty head. It's a shame. So when I talk about people like that, sometimes I would sound like I'm insulting people, and I think I'm too clever. So I don't like talking about them. So I actually talk about people who are relevant. The CIC is relevant. That's why I talk about him. He's relevant. He is on the ground. There is a lot of people who are misled about his intentions. So I should really talk about him to clarify to those. There are those people who would, even when you try and open their eyes, they are so deep into the matrix that even when you try and open their eyes, they would just say, Viva the CIC, Viva the CIC. As if like you did not say anything. Maybe you made a 13 minutes or 15 minutes presentation, and then the only thing they know is to say Viva the CIC because they are robots. The difference between a human being and a robot, it's because it's the robot cannot change its mind, but the human being can change its mind. The robot, if you have to put a pin code for you to open the gate, you have to put a pin code. But if it's a human being, yeah, and you are the owner of the premises, you can explain to him and he's going to understand, yeah, that this one is the owner. But the robot does not understand. You still have to put the pin even when you are the owner of the property. So the robot does not change its mind, but the human being does change his mind when they find out the truth. So I'm talking to those who are human beings. I'm not talking to robots now. Robots, continue with your EFF. Robots, continue with your ANC. Robots, continue with your DA. I'm talking about black robots. The propaganda machines create robots. So let the robots continue. But yeah, I'm talking to those who are human beings who can change their mind when they hear the truth. This presentation took a bit longer than I was thinking it would take. I, however, thank you for listening today.